Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So one of the things I want to talk about today is going to be debt consolidation, right? More specifically, is a debt consolidation loan a good option for you, right? Because for some people it'll make sense, for some people it won't, right? But debt consolidation is going to be the process of paying off multiple existing debts with one new loan. And while there are special loans marketed as debt consolidation loans, personal and home equity loans can be used for debt consolidation. So we're going to start the process of, loan consolidation by securing your new loan, ideally at a lower interest rate than you're currently paying on your debt. You'll use the money you've borrowed from your new lender to repay some or all of your existing creditors. This process can simplify your life since you'll have one payment instead of a bunch of different ones, right? Also, depending on the terms of your new loan, consolidation can often reduce your interest rate and total repayment costs as well, right? Still, though, while debt consolidation has advantages, it's not right for everyone. And we're going to go over some of the things that you need to know to determine if consolidating, your existing loans is a good solution for you. Okay. So, reasons for debt consolidation. Well, the first step is deciding if it makes sense, right? So, you know, in order to figure this out, we need to evaluate our goals, right? So borrowers, they might consolidate debt for a number of reasons, right? So some of those may include lowering total interest costs, right? If you qualify for a new loan at a lower rate and don't make your repayment timeline substantially longer, you could save money on repayment. Reduce monthly payments. Your monthly payment could be lower due to, consolidation if you reduce your interest rate, right? Make your repayment timeline longer or both. Simplify your repayment, right? When you pay off multiple existing debts with one new loan, you only have one payment to worry about instead of a bunch of different ones, and that's going to make it easier to manage. You could change loan servicers, right? If you don't like your current loan service, debt consolidation allows you to switch to a new lender who, you'll deal with for your future payments. And all these are valid reasons for consolidating debt, but it's important not to confuse consolidation with a plan for, repayment. A debt consolidation loan simply moves your debt around and sometimes lowers the cost of paying it back, right? It's not going to erase your debt, and it's not a substitute for a plan to become and stay debt free. Okay, well, then, types of debt to consolidate, right? Because you can consolidate a bunch of different types of debt, right? So you've got personal loan debt, you've got medical debt, you've got credit card debt, right? You can also consolidate like private and federal student loans, but federal student loan consolidation is a more, we'll say, complex process than refinancing into a private student loan or applying for a personal loan. However, if you want to retain the benefits of federal student loans, including repayment flexibility and eligibility for loan forgiveness, you can do that only using a direct consolidation loan made by the Department of Education. Unlike other types of consolidation loans, this won't change your interest rate. Your new rate will be a weighted average of your old ones. Private student loans, they don't have special borrower benefits, and so can be consolidated with other private lenders without worrying about losing important protections. In this case, the process would be called student loan refinancing, even though it could have the effect of consolidating multiple education debts into one. There's some alternatives to debt consolidation loans, because debt consolidation. It's not the only solution to changing the terms of your loans. So you can renegotiate the terms of your existing loan, right? Because some lenders will allow you to do that if you ask, especially if you have trouble making payments. The benefit of this is, renegotiating may be possible even if you're not able to qualify for a debt consolidation loan due to a low credit score, or maybe you have delinquencies, right? Or you could just refinance, right? Refinancing, it's similar to consolidation in that you're taking out a new loan. but you don't have to consolidate multiple debts to refinance. You can secure a new loan to pay off a single old one. As an example, many people refinance their mortgages either to lower their rate and payment or to tap into the equity of their home by taking a cash out refinance loan. Another one to talk about is going to be balance transfers. Like, this is really big with credit cards, right? Because if you have credit card debt, you could transfer the balance from one or more existing cards to a new balance transfer card offering a low promotional interest rate. A lot of times this will be like, 0%, right? Like, they might offer you an interest rate as low as 0% for a limited time. You might see this a lot for like 0% for the first year or something like that, right? But you need to be careful, as your rate could rise substantially when that promotional period ends. So if you're going to do that, I would say make sure, right, you pay it off before. Like, if it says 0% for a year, it needs to be paid off before that year's up, right? So another thing to talk about is going to be a debt management plan. For me, this is a big one, right? Because a debt management plan, which you can get from a nonprofit credit counseling organization, right, involves closing your existing credit cards and having a credit counselor negotiate with your creditors on your behalf. They then work out a payment plan for all the debts owed, which may include lower interest rates. If you're really struggling and you don't know how to put that credit card down, this might be something you really need to look into, right? Um, as a note, it's also common to see advertisements for debt consolidation companies online. While some credit card debt consolidation companies are legitimate, some of these ads are often run by debt settlement firms, so you really need to kind of watch out, right? Well, then, when does debt consolidation make sense? Well, debt consolidation may make sense for you if, you can qualify for a consolidation loan. You're generally going to need good credit as well as proof of income. If you can't qualify based on your own financial profile, you might need a cosigner. Or if you're able to reduce the interest rate on your current loans by consolidating, right? It generally makes little sense to take a consolidation loan at a higher rate than your current debt, right? It'd make your repayment way more expensive. If you can afford the new monthly payments on your consolidation loan, you don't want to borrow money if you'll struggle to make the monthly payments. Or maybe if you have a solid financial plan finally, right? If you don't have one, consolidation could be risky, right? If it simply makes you feel you've made progress on debt repayment when you've actually just moved your loan balance somewhere else. It's also dangerous if you don't have your spending under control and you get deeper into debt once your consolidation loan's free of credit, right? You understand total repayment costs in your consolidation loan, right? Don't focus solely on lowering your monthly payment. You can make your loan cost more over time, even with a lower payment, if you extend your repayment timeline. And then some debt consolidation loans come with high fees or prepayment penalties. These should be avoided as they could make, repayment costs higher. If you're considering a home equity loan or a home equity line of credit, otherwise called a HELOC, or cash out refinance loan to consolidate debt, you need to be aware that you could be turning unsecured debt, such as credit card or personal loan debt, into secured debt, right? But with secured debt, an asset, in this case your house, acts as collateral and can be lost if you can't repay what you've borrowed. Unsecured debt, on the other hand, isn't guaranteed by any asset, so if you default, you aren't usually at risk of losing your house. Though your credit is going to take a hit. And since you're putting your house in jeopardy by borrowing against your home to consolidate debt, make this choice after some careful consideration, right? You can see I put on here, a little example of like when it would make sense, right? If you've got, separate, two separate loans, right? One for 7,000, one for 3,000, 14%, 16% interest, right? And how much you'll be paying, right? Versus if you consolidate one loan, the same amount, much lower interest rate over 4 years. So you end up paying, right, less money. So sometimes it'll make more sense, but you really do the math, do your due diligence, right? I really hope you guys got some good information out of this. If you stayed this long, hit the like button for me. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And so I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all be safe.